Okay. Last one is what is our last one? Packages, no? Hmm. So function overloading. Anybody has implemented this? Huh? Implemented? Where is? Which one? Your program. The program is which one here? Hmm. Hmm. This is what? That is not necessary. Hmm. This is enough. These variable, this function, declare here. Hmm. Then why are you writing this pen? This also not necessary. This too enough. Okay. They're not right. This is correct. Okay. Right. For anybody, boys, anyone is implemented function overloading concept? Girls? No. Okay. Okay. And now see here the function overload, how to, okay, implement here. Already definition I was given. Okay, no? Already definition I was given. What is the definition of function overload? We are sending number of arguments to same function. Okay, no? So now in packages, first we need to create your package specification block. Okay. So we know how to create package specification, package number 3. Then after, and now you need to declare here. So function F1 with a few arguments now, number, and this is X. And your return type is what now? Number. Then to the same function, the next attempt, I was given here, the number of arguments are how many here? 3. So, and this will be written what now? Number. And now we need to end to close. And here first my function F1 with 2 arguments and later to the same function F1 with 3 arguments. So now this kind of situation is called as the function overloaded. Okay, now? Right. And later you need to implement this. Okay. So create, replace, what is this? Package body pk number 3. So is or as, and now you have to implement your function. Function F1 with the 2 arguments. Okay, I'm going to taking now X comma Y. And what is your return type? Number. So number. And after that is or as. Then variables are not required here as begin. And what should we do? Return. So my return is, for example, okay, I'm going to use, for example, X plus Y. My return type is what now? X plus Y. So, and now we can go to end my F1. Okay, first function with 2 arguments will be ended. Then after I need to go for function F number 1 with how many arguments here? Here 3 arguments. With the 3 arguments. Okay, na? Right. And now it will be go Return what now? Number type. So is or as and now begin. And now what we need to return means x into y into z, for example. I'm giving here x into y into z. Then after that, end your F1 and end your package, okay, body. And after to execute now. So package body is going to be created. And now we can see how to call your package. Select pk3.f1. Suppose if I'm passing the two arguments, then which function will be rise? Addition function will be rise. So with the two arguments, addition 10 plus 20, how much here? 30. If I'm going to sending here three arguments, I'm sending, okay, then if I executed now, it was rise what now? Product. So 10 into 20 into 30, there are 6,000. So function with the three arguments, function with the two arguments. This kind of situation is called as function overloading. Okay, right down below. Okay. Now, so this is package advantage here, how we can bind your procedures and functions together in one PLSQL block, as well as how to overload your functions. Okay, now? So like you can use your packages to combining of your procedures and functions. Now next object right on here, the triggers. Okay, now, so basically these trigger objects, where it was and when it was required, means that, for example, just first I will explain where the real-time people are using these triggers objects. Okay, now some examples I will explain to you. For example, you can see nowadays you will be get some alerts. Are you getting some alerts? Ah, so generally alerts are we are so many that means mostly we are getting alerts from banking sectors. So how you get alerts means if you do any accessibility like unauthorized people when they try to access your account, or if anybody they're hacking your account, so immediately we will get one message. What is the message? Okay. Someone is accessing your account. So please check it. If you are not, contact to your branch manager. Anybody got this kind of messages? Got it? Huh? Because if you want to got it means you have to do banking transactions. Without having account, without transaction, how it will come? Huh? If you do some banking transactions, then you will be face that kind of messages. And sometimes you can see when you are using credit card or debit cards, when you enter wrong PIN number, immediately message will come up. Yes, you entered wrong PIN number. So please check it out. Someone is enter wrong PIN number. So there also we can go to getting some alerts. So that means alerts when the banking sectors will send you means if any fraud things are happening. Okay. So sometimes we are getting alerts like that. Don't show your OTP number. Yes or no, don't tell us your account numbers, because nowadays so many in online it was going to be happen. Okay, no? At the time bankings are alerting their customers. They immediately sending. Don't click on unnecessary links. Yes or no? So that means alert is nothing but what it was. It was going to be sending some security information to the customers. They will make it some secure. Okay, no? So those kind of alerts, how the people will get it in the mobile, get it into mobile means we are using what now? Triggers. So banking people, how they're raising their alerts to the customers means in banking application, they're using what now? Triggers. This is one reason where triggers are useful. Second one is I want to restrict your DDL operations or DML operations. Certain period of time, I can stop it. For example, so morning 9 to evening 5. This is one employee shift timing. Okay, morning 9 to 5. Log in 9 o'clock, log out 5 o'clock. So these are called as a working hours. In these working hours only, we need to accept the request from user. It may be insert request, it may be update request, it may be delete request. Within the time is what now? Morning 9 a.m. to evening 5 p.m. In this time period, if anybody come and send the request, if anybody come and do some work on your databases, you can give a permission. But before 9, after 5, if anybody come and try to perform some operation on your database, you don't give a permission. For simple example, banking sectors again. So banking sectors nowadays, what is the timings? 10:30, 10 o'clock open. Yes or no? Okay, we assume like 10 o'clock. 10 to 4 something, the what we called as a transaction hours. Suppose I need to deposit some money, okay, through my bank. then definitely customer want to go banking sector or bank, and they want to fill some form, and I need to deposit. The deposit amount, if you want to deposit in your account or anybody account, okay, now the time is what now? 10 to 4. Before 10, can I deposit my money through bank? No, because banks are not open. After 4, you can try to go bank and you say, sir, I want to deposit money. But there one clerk person is saying that, sorry, sir, your deposit time is over. So please come tomorrow. So simply they're telling us, okay, that means your deposit transactions can be performed by customers or users in between 10 to 4 only. That is called a business hours. In that business hours only, banking people will take your request. It may be a deposit request, cash withdrawal request, or any other applications you are applied, anything that should be happening 10 to 4. After 4, you can go bank and do some action. Immediately the people will be rejected and simply saying that, sorry, sir, the business hours are closed. So please come to tomorrow. Why, sir, they're telling like this means in their system, the company management, like the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, they're giving some restrictions. So they given time period of login into the banking transaction website 10 to 4 only in internal banking who are working. Okay, na? Those people have accessing permission from 10 to 4. After 10 to 4, you can go and give any worker, the banking people will not accept because their business hours 10 to 4 only. In between 10 to 4, they accept any request they can take and they give a response. But after 4, you can go, no one respond you. Because of reason, their business hours are already closed. So that app, that means in the application, the 10 to 4 only your transactions will be acceptable. In where I'm telling in banking sectors, not in online. Online means 24 into 7. Okay, na? But in the internal works of bank, internal works in banking sectors, they have some business hours. So in that hours or in that time period only, your app is working. Their apps who are using login app or etc. Otherwise, later he cannot log in. That kind of restrictions I can provide by using triggers. In the same to same, nowadays, you know, every Sunday banks are holidays. So that means what it means, complete your internal banking transactions completely close. Whatever you can do online only. But internally, you can't do it. If you have a work internally, then you should wait for up to Monday. So thus every Sunday is going to be holidays for bank. That means on Sundays, your internal banking transactions or operations will never allowed. That's called a day-wise restrictions. So a particular time period I can restrict it by using of trigger. A particular days I can restrict it by using of triggers. So this kind of restrictions can be possible. That also I can do with the triggers only. Next one, validations. So whenever we need to do validations on my data, whether this data is right or wrong, valid or invalid. So those kind of validations also I can perform with the help of what now? Triggers. Okay, now? The next most important thing, triggers where the people are using means for auditings. What is that? Auditings. Auditings means, anybody listen? Audits. Anybody listen? Like a charter account people are there now. CA. Those people, what they will do? Audits. Okay, now? So auditing purpose also they use a trigger. What is audit, sir? Audit is nothing but, simply remember, for example, a company was there. X is a company. The company, all of you know that every financial academic, every employee, every businessman, every organization, those people, they want to pay some income tax. Yes or no? You have to pay or not? We need to pay some income tax to the government. So what company people, what they will do, for example, X company is there. That X company for the 2022, okay, April 1 to 2023, March 31st. So April 1st, 2022 to 31st March 2023, it's called a financial academic. In this academic year, in this financial academic year, any businessman, any employee, anybody, certain limit is crossed, their gross salary. If you crossed 7 lakhs above, if it will come, then the above amount you have to show accountability. You want to show accountability. Okay, now accountability means what, sir? Means that each and every expenditure, each and every usage, okay, how you expenditure, how you spend, that each and every information we need to maintain. For simple example, okay, you understand what I said, X company. X company source of financial academic turnover, there are 500 crores. Understand now? One company in source of financial academic, the turnover how much? 500 crores. So turnover 500 crores, it means that 500 crores you need to show accountability to government of India. That means how this 500 is came. Each and everything will be billing system, proof. Okay, now how this 500 is came, that you have to show with accountability. Accountability means what? Proof. So that is what documents you had to maintain. These 500 rupees, how you spent. For example, X company, my turnover 500 crores, out of 500 crores, 200 crores are employee salaries purpose I spent. So 500 minus 200, 300 crores. This 200, what purpose you spent? Salaries purpose. That means each and everything is a proof now. Yes. In my company, there are 1,000 employees are working. For those 1,000 employees, monthly salary. This is. Like how many months? 12 months. 1 year na? So 12 months for my employee salaries purpose, how much I paid? 200 crores. So total turnover 500 minus 200, 300. So 200 crores are genuine. Your accountability. You are showing to the government without the black money. You are showing white money. Remaining 300 crores are there. Remaining 300 crores, how you spent? Again, I have to show some proof. So in 300 crores, leave it 100 crores for my maintenance, for my rental, for my equipments in the company, systems, etc., etc., etc. These are all are going to be 100 crores for 1 year. So how much is left? 200 crores left. These 200 also you have to show accountability. If this 200 crores accountability, if you are not showing to the government, then they will take a income tax. So 200 crores into so and so percentage, the calculator, so they will take a income tax. The income tax may be out of 200 crores, you have to pay 50 crores. And remaining 150 crores in your hand. That is called a profit. So this is each and everything you need to show calculation wise, with the proofs wise, with the documentation wise, you need to show. Then only government will believe this is white money. Otherwise, black monies. That's why nowadays you can see so many politicians, as or no, so many industry people, okay, they're riding, income tax people riding, as or no, news channels. Why they're riding? Because of reason, their accountability is not a correct. They're doing some cheating. And whatever they're earning 500 crores, but they're showing to the government 300 crores. That means remaining 200 crores, black money. So when the income tax people is calculated, for example, simple, you are going to be companies. For example, your gross salary is a 10 lakhs. Okay, na? Government will be offered to you up to 7 lakhs. Up to 7 lakhs, whose gross salary is 7 lakhs, those people will not get any income tax problems. 7 lakhs crossed, then you are a income tax holder. So definitely you have to pay some money to government. So now your package is, for example, 10 lakhs. How much extra? The 3 lakhs purpose you have to pay government. So 3 lakhs, for example, who are having extra 3 lakhs or 3 to 5 lakhs, those people will pay 10% to the government. Now calculate 3 lakhs into 10% is 30,000. So 30,000 you need to pay government without any asking question. You should be pay. If you are not paying 30,000 now, complete 3 lakhs will take. That's why you pay 30,000 now. Remaining how much left? 2.7. So 2.7 lakhs saved to you. If you are the 30,000, you are seeing that now, this 2.7 also gone. If who are not paying as time to time, what it was happened? They are doing some fraud. They are going to cheating to government. Yes or no? Who are doing like that? That all calculated by income tax people. And now later they are going to take a ride. So your income is this much. Okay, you are showing to the government this much. Where is remaining amount? They're asking. The remaining amount, where it is? Your 200 crores remaining amount, where it is? From where it was came? How it was came? Who given to you? This kind of lot of questions will come. Okay, na? That's why nowadays so many people saying that if any item you need to purchase, you need to take a bill. Because our bill is our proof. Yes or no? For example, I'm taking some gold. There are 1 lakh gold I'm taking. And I'm not taking bill. What happened? Income tax people are coming. This 1 lakh gold, how you will get it? Show me proof. There is nothing was there. If I have a bill now, I can show bill. This is, see, genuinely, I am purchased this. This is the bill. You can check it out. Then income tax people, oh, this guy is genuine. Leave it. If you're not showing this bill, but you have a gold. So what they are asking to you? How this gold is come out? कहां से आया? कैसे आया? क्या किया आपने? चोरी किया है? Yes or no? That is what auditings. So every company is going to be maintain auditors. Auditors' responsibility is what now? The total turnover of the company for the financial academic, how much? The 200, 100, 500, that each and everything they want to maintain accounts. Accountabilities they have to maintain. Then only when the people are asking immediately, suddenly when income tax people are coming to your company, they're asking, show me your accounts. Then this all they want to show it. And their information, you're showing information matching now, then they said is a genuine guy. If it is not matching, they are showing for their information something, you are showing something. If it is not matching now, definitely they will be take action. That is the reason, can you see accountabilities in application trigger, how it was important for us? Phone Pay is there, na? Google Pays are there, na? Phone Pay or Google Pay or any app. If you pay something to someone or you receive something from someone, okay, na? You pay or receive. Both informations are having in your history. Yes or no? Having history. For simple example, your father is giving 100 rupees to you. That 100 rupees you have in your account. Okay, na? So later, after 3 or 2 days, your father is asking, where is 100 rupees? Okay, na? See, your father think income tax person. Okay, na? So you got it how much here? 100 rupees. So income tax person is asking, your father is asking, what you did 100 rupees? Then you are saying that, पापा 100 rupees मैंने वो खर्च कर दिया, ये खर्च किया, ऐसे ऐसे बोलते हैं. Papa, father will not listen. No, you don't tell like this. So show me proof. Then what we are showing? Papa, see, if you have a doubt, na, see history. पहले दिन 10 रुपए खर्च किया मैंने. सेकंड दिन 15 रुपीस खर्च किया. किस लिए खर्च किया? पानी पूरी बंडा के लिए खर्च किया है. और ये चाय के लिए खर्च किया है. ये मेरा टिफिन के लिए खर्च किया. So 3 दिन the total amount will be 100 clear. Then you show to your father is saying that, my beta bahut acha hai. Very clarity. My beta is having very clarity. Okay beta, chalo, और 100 rupees ले लो. और ये 5 दिन का खर्चा है तेरे को. So this is what we called accountabilities. Now, whatever we are getting in the history, phone pay history or Google Pay history, how that history will be copied means that when you perform your transaction, how much a transaction you perform, either 1 rupee transaction, 100 rupees, 1 lakh, 1 krona, none of the matter. But every transaction information is copied into your database. How it was copied? By the help of triggers. Your transaction successful information copied. Your transaction failing information is copied. So that means here, that is called as a auditings. Whatever the history is showing in your PhonePe, Google Pay, that is called a audits. Same as, can you see you have a passbooks now? Account passbooks are there now. You can go and take printout. You can take printout. If you go and ask, sir, I want it from so-and-so date to so-and-so date, I need a printout. Then they will give printout now. How they will give printout? Because at the time of transaction, what you did, those transactions are copied. So that means your each and every account information is also maintained. That each and every transaction information maintaining is called as a auditings. The called as what? Auditings. You did transaction with a transaction, immediately storing the data. If you did deposit, immediately store. If you do some transfer, immediately store. So what you did in your banking transactions or transaction, that every information of a transaction will be stored in your database table with the help of what now? Triggers. So these are the advantages of triggers, and triggers where we use real time means that banking sectors. Almost 80 to 90% is banking transactions or banking operations will be performed based on triggers. That's why Java people, maybe I don't know this is how much important topic for Java, but database people purpose, this is very, very important. Okay, now for database developers, if they are going to be interviews, there are more questions they're asking from triggers because it's a very, very important concept, not only banking transaction, any online transaction. For example, Amazon, Flipkarts are there. They are also maintained which customer, when he was ordered, where he was ordered, what is the date, everything they have to maintain. So that's why triggers are very, very important in the online transactions wise. Okay, right. So these are the real-time cases where the triggers can be used. Okay, now understand the purpose of trigger? Yes. Now we will see, right, some points here. Trigger. It is a named block. It is a named block which will execute by system automatically when event is fired. When event is fired. Here event means what, sir? Here event means what, sir? Here event means DML or DDL operations. Here event is nothing but DML, DDL operations. When event is fired. Okay, right. So now, what is the purpose of triggers? So purpose of triggers. The first case, to raise alerts. To raise alerts. To raise alerts to the users or to users otherwise you can to raise alerts with the security manner. Second one, to control DML comma DDL operations. Third one, to implement or implementing business logical conditions. Next, for validating purpose you can use. Next, for auditing purpose also you can use. So these are the some reasons where you want to use triggers. Next, what is the generals, and before that you take a types of triggers. So how many types we have in this database means there are two types, guys, here. First one, DML triggers, and second one, DDL triggers. DDL triggers, even though we called as a database triggers, because these operations are performing on the database. Okay. So first, when come to DML triggers, we will discuss here. And when we called as a trigger is a DML trigger, sir, means that it's very simple. When we created a trigger object based on DML operations. DML operations are what? Insert, update, delete. Okay, na? So when we created a trigger object based on DML operations, okay, then we called as DML triggers. Next point. These triggers are executed by your system automatically when we perform DML operations on a particular table. So these triggers are executed by system automatically when we perform DML operations on particular table. Okay. DML trigger syntax. How to create, sir? So syntax is very simple. As usual, the previous objects, how we design. So create or replace. Then I have to send trigger. So trigger name. Then after your two events I'm using, before or after. Then after you can see your operations, insert or update or delete on a particular table. On which table you are performing your insert, update, delete operations, the table name should be given. Okay, now, and next one you are using for each row. This one statement I'm using, but the statement when I want to use, sir, means that so use in row level triggers, where I want to use here row level triggers only. So other than row level, we can't use any other statement or other levels. It will be useful only row level. Why, sir, we want to use in only row level? I will explain. Okay, now, right. So then after you just give it a begin, and as usual, you can go for trigger body and write your statements or logic, whatever it is, and finally end close. Now we can see when we created same like this procedures. Procedures are created, and after created procedures, who called procedures? User or system automatically? User is called. Which syntax I'm using for procedure to call? Execute. Execute, procedure name, passing some value. With the help of that command, programmer is calling your procedure by explicitly. Okay, na? That is one thing. Function we created. After created function, functions also we called na? By using select function name of values from dual. So procedure functions packages. After creation, manually programmer has to call. Yes or no? And there is a calling syntaxes also there. There is a calling syntaxes, calling formulas. But triggers are not like that. Trigger I can create, but I cannot call. And even though there is a no syntax for calling a trigger. Why? Because what I'm saying, triggers are automatically called by who? System when we perform DML operations on particular table. Okay, na? So system automatically calling your trigger. Whenever user is performing some operation on the table, that operational related or corresponding trigger object, whatever it was there in the database, the trigger automatically invoked. For simple example, in your Java, you have a constructors. Okay. Constructors, how to call? Constructors, how to invoke? When we create an object to the class. Yes or no? So when we are creating object to the class, automatically constructors are called. Why? Because your constructor name, your class name, both are same. So that's why constructors, we don't want to call specially. We don't have any special syntax. When you're creating object to the class, automatically constructor is calling. Same as when I'm performing DML operation on the table, then that operational trigger, whatever it was there, the trigger automatically calling. So that's why triggers doesn't have any calling statement. Understand na? So now here, this is the syntax of trigger. That's it. Now here observe. Sir, in this, we are using two keywords here. What is this? Before or after? What is before and what is after? Let me write. Take side in. Trigger events. So here, there are two types of events. There are two events otherwise. Okay, na? There are two events. First event is called as a before event. And second one is called as a after event. So what is before event? What is after event means? Okay. Now carefully observe. So when we created a trigger with the before event, with before event, then what it was happen, you can see. Then first your trigger body, okay, first your trigger body is executed. So whatever you written under this begin, okay, this is what we called a trigger body. What you written under this trigger body, that body first executed here. First, which one is executed? Trigger body or logic. Then after, which one is execute here? DML command is execute. Or command will execute. Okay, na? So this is before event. That means before DML command execution, first trigger body is executed, and after executed of trigger logic, then DML operations will be checked. That is before event. After event is quite opposite of before. After event is quite opposite of before. Suppose my trigger, if I'm creating after event, then what it was happening to me, first your DML command is executed. The first DML command is executed, and later trigger body will execute. Okay, na? Later trigger body will execute. So after DML command, then trigger logic will check. Okay. Now here, but the thing is, take some note. Here, observe. But both are providing same result. So, what do you understand? When you're creating a trigger, you can use after keyword or before keyword, any keyword you can use, any event you can use. Maybe execution process will be different. If I'm using before event, first trigger body, then after DML. If I'm using after keyword, first DML, then after trigger body. So maybe execution mechanism will be changed. But finally providing what now? Same result. Same example in subqueries also we discuss. Correlated, non-correlated. Correlated, what it was happen? First inner query, later outer query. Correlated, first outer, later inner. So non-correlated, inner to outer execution, correlated, outer to inner execution. But both are finally providing same output, same like this. That's why you can use any key event or any event you can use, nothing problem. Okay, now? Right. Next. Text heading here. Levels of triggers. Levels of triggers. Here, guys, a trigger can create at two levels. Create at two levels. What is my first level in this? Is called as a row level triggers, and second one is called as a statement level triggers. The triggers can be at two levels I can create. A trigger can create at two levels, row level and statement level. What is row level, sir? Carefully observe. Row level triggers are, okay, in this case or in this level, what it was happen, your trigger body is executed for each and every row wise. If you have in your table, how many number of rows are there? In that number of rows, how many number of rows are affected by your DML query through? Okay, that many times your trigger body execute. For example, let me see. Suppose this is one table. The table having some values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows are there. In these rows, I kept here 5,000. Next, 2,500. Next, 3,000. Next, 5,000. Next, 9,800. Now tell me how many rows in my table? 5 rows. Out of 5 rows, how many rows are having 5,000? 2 rows. So that means if I want to do updation on this table, if I want to do updation on this table to update whose salary is a 5,000, I need to update. I need to update whose salary is a 5,000. That 5,000 salary employee details I want to update. Okay. Then tell me, when I'm applying this update query on this table, how many rows are updated? 2 rows are updated. So that means your trigger body is executed how many times? 2 times. Why? Because it is what? Row level. So how many rows are updated? How many rows are deleted? How many rows are inserted? So based on the DML operational through, how many rows are affected in the table, that each affected row wise your trigger body will execute. That is called a row level trigger we called. Okay, na? Write down. So in this level, a trigger body is executing for each row wise, for each row wise, for a DML operation, for each row wise for a DML operation. Okay, now one practical I will show you, then you will get some more clarity on this. Come to your database and see what I'm doing here. If any table is there on the name of test, I just remove. Okay, fine. And now let me go and check. I'm creating one trigger. Create, replace. My syntax I already given to you. So trigger TR1. Create or replace trigger name. Here I want to use before event, after event, your wish. And which operation I'm creating trigger? Update operation. And before that, guys, before that, what we want to use? First, I want to create a table. Okay, set ename varchar2, comma salary of a number. Then after few records, I'm inserting into this table. So employee name Smith, amount of salary 15,000. Employee name is Jones, the amount is 34,000. Next, the name is Alan, the salary was 15,000 rupees. Next, the name is Scott. Okay, the salary was 28,000 rupees. I just commit this data and it is a permanently stored. Now tell me, 15,000 employees, how many? 2 employees. 2 employees means 2 rows, na? Now I'm creating trigger. On this table, I'm creating trigger. So create or replace trigger TR1. So here you can use before or after anything. Which operation I'm creating trigger? Update operation. This update operation are you performing on which table? Test table. So now this is what I'm saying here, row level trigger. So whenever row level trigger, if you want to prepare, then you can use a for each row. So for each row, why I'm taking this class means what I said just now, row level trigger body is going to be check each and every row. And in this verification, how many rows are affected? That many times your trigger body will execute. That's why I need to use to verifying each and every row. That's why I need to use what? For each row. Okay. But this for each row, I can't use under statement level trigger. Understand na? For each row. Then after I started what? Begin. And here one small message I'm going to passing. What is the message? DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line of, suppose I'm sending here hello. And finally, end my trigger to execute now. Trigger successfully created. So this trigger are you created on which command? Update. Then this trigger is called a update trigger we call. So, okay, sir. Now this is my table. This is your trigger. And now which operation I have to do? Update. And one more thing. Your trigger on which operation are you created? That operation, whenever user is performing on the table, then only your trigger will be automatically called. Suppose, are you created your trigger on which command? Update. And now I'm going to performing here inside. This trigger working or not working? Not working. Suppose I'm going to create here, I'm going to perform a delete operation. Working or not working? Not working. So that means what do you understand? On which DML operation are you created your trigger? The same operation whenever user is performing on the table, then this trigger is automatically called. So that's why don't use insert and delete. Use what? Update. Update what? Test. Table name is test. Set. Update. Table name is what? Set. Test. Now see, salary is equals to 10,000 rupees, where salary is equals to 15,000. If I'm going to executing this command, okay, how many rows affected in my table? 2 rows. It means that your hello statement, trigger body, hello statements, how many times printed? 2 times printed. Okay, let me come out, see. How many times printed? 2 times. How many rows updated? 2 rows. Then come back and see your table successfully updated or not. Updated, huh? This is called as what? Row level trigger. Right, Ambulu? Example, take your table, sample demo table, and below program you can write. Okay, no? Right. This is row level. What is our second one? Statement levels. Statement level trigger what it was happening this. So in this level, a trigger body is executed only one time or only once, executed only once for a DML operation. Okay, na? So here none of the matter how many rows are updated, but it always executing how many times? One time. If 100 rows are updated, but trigger body executing only one time. Okay, na? Right. What is example? Let me come out. The same example, I will take it now. Okay, now see what I'm changing here. What I'm changing here means there is nothing to change. You just remove this for each row. If you remove your for each row, then it is called a statement level. If you use for each row, then it is called a row level. So how I need to identify, sir, this trigger is a statement level or row level, or how I can identify? Means that only for each row statement. If it was there, then you confirm that it is a row level trigger. So the body or logic will execute each and every row wise. If I remove this for each row, then it is called a statement level trigger. Then your trigger body executed only one time for any number of rows. Okay, na? Right. So that is I was given same thing. And now you can come out and see I'm going to execute this and what it was happen. And before execution, this is my information about the table. Yes or no? Now I'm going to execute this. Is it clear? Now, so trigger executed. Now we can do updation. Update test table set salary is equals to 18,000 where salary is equals to 10,000. 10,000 people, how many are there? Two. That means how many rows updated? One row. Two rows updated. But how many times your trigger execute? Only one time. Now we can see it's happened or not. How many rows updated? How many times trigger execute? One time. So this is what we call the statement level. Right, Umbil? Okay, no? So statement level trigger and row level trigger. Hello statement in row level, how many times printed? 2 times, but here printed only 1 time. So this is the differences of row and statement. Okay, no? Right. And later, how this statement level and row level in examples how to use that I will tell you. This is only for definition to understanding purpose. I show you this example. Okay, just working mechanism I'm showing now. Okay, and later we will go for some examples and that we will see in tomorrow session. Okay, no? All right, guys. I stop it here and we'll continue on tomorrow. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, you just leave.